Hi everybody, this is Simon Ward from TheTriathlonCoach.com and welcome back to another of our educational videos. And today we are going to be looking at the final week before your 70.3 or Ironman event. I'm going to class those in the same category because they're both long distance events which you've trained for a long while and which require a good taper. The final week is, I think probably before we start, it's important to say that the final week is absolutely vital. But the first thing to know is, whatever you do in this final week, you are not going to improve your fitness in time for race day. A few weeks later, yes, but in time for race day, no. However, so you're not going to improve your fitness, but you can damage your fitness a lot by doing the wrong things. And so it's those mistakes I'd like to focus on today and helping you to avoid them, making sure that you come into the race feeling absolutely perfect. So there's a lot of stuff on the board behind me, so let's go. Firstly, as I said there, the final week, there is no increased fitness from training in the last 7 days. It takes far too long for this to get into the system for it to be used from race day. Next thing, you should have a plan, which we'll come to in a second, and it is vital that you stick to the plan. Okay? And you need to trust your fitness. So one of the biggest mistakes that people make is thinking, I'll just squeeze in a little more on the bike, I'll just do that one last run, I'll go and do that because those guys look like they're running fast and if I don't do it they'll be ahead of me. Okay? So trust your fitness. You've done enough now, you just need to preserve it and rest up. And finally, whenever you finish your training sessions, finish all of them feeling great, with lots of energy, like you could do a lot more. And if you do feel like that, just remember you want to save it for the big day. So how do we get to that feeling of feeling great? Well, over here I've put together a little outline of a suggested example of training you might want to do in that final week. So if you remember on the previous video we talked about coming into your taper, you do a big week, then your training drops off the cliff, you then do very little for a few days and then you start to build back up. So this is the Saturday, sort of 7 or 8 days, 9 days before the race. Blue is swim, red is bike, green is run. So on the Saturday, a 1.5 hour bike ride, a 1 hour swim. Okay, on the Sunday, another 1.5 hour bike ride, run off the bike for 30 minutes. On the Monday, an hour of swimming. On the Tuesday, 40 minutes of riding, 20-minute run. On the Wednesday, probably a 45-minute run. Thursday, back to 40 minutes biking and a 20-minute run. Friday's a rest day. Saturday, the day before the race, you should be doing some training. It will stop you from feeling sluggish. You want to do 20 minutes on the course. Then get on your bike and ride for 20 minutes and then run straight off the back of that for 10 to 15 minutes. Alright, and that's it then. Do all that in the morning. Then you've got the rest of the day to pack all your stuff and rack your bike and do all the other preparations, get to bed early in time for the big race on the Sunday. So what sort of stuff should we be doing in these training sessions? Well, in the swimming I would recommend race pace intervals. So work out your goal race time and do intervals at that pace and faster stuff. It's not a problem to do intensity in that taper. If you remember in the previous video I said drop the volume, maintain the frequency and maintain or increase the intensity. Do some speed work, so some short stuff, and if you know it's going to be a deep water start, perhaps you should be doing some of those as well, and practice some of your open water skills just to remind yourself about sighting and navigation. On the bike, RP equals race pace, so you want to be doing some race pace efforts and in your aero position, but in that 1.5 hours you may only want to do 2 times 10 minutes, and as you come in here maybe you want 20 minutes to 30 minutes of riding and the last 10 minutes at race pace or a bit faster. Likewise for the run, get some speed into the legs by doing some strides. If you're going to run for 20-30 minutes, make the first 20 minutes nice and easy, the last 10 minutes faster than race pace. Just enough to remind your body what it's going to do, not so much that you get exhausted, finish the session feeling great. Okay, nutrition in race week, something that people can easily get wrong. So here's a plan that I use and has been recommended by one of the nutritionists of British Triathlon. Do watch your calorie intake. You've decreased your training, so you do need to decrease your calories just a bit to make sure you don't gain half a pound in that final week. So on the race week, we're starting here. On the Monday to Wednesday, just eat good quality food. Try to keep away from processed foods, fatty foods, fast foods. Okay, so good quality fish, good quality meat, lots of fruit and vegetables, plenty of water, get your salts and minerals in, stay hydrated. That's all, nice and simple there. Thursday to Friday, you need to fuel the muscles. That's around here when you're cutting the training down. No need to worry about carbo loading, because as you drop the training and you keep the carbs going in, your body will naturally fuel them. So fuel the muscles, but also you might want to decrease the fruit and veg and decrease the fibre. You'll be feeling nervous enough on race day. You'll probably have a couple of toilet stops in the morning. No need to make your stomach more runny than it's going to be anyway. So reduce these. On the Saturday, no fruit and veg, very little fibre. Go on more white carbs, so that's white bread, white rice, white pasta. Okay, that's fine for this. It's only going to be for 24 hours just to bung you up a bit, reduce the likelihood of any toilet stops. Keep your hydration up, particularly if it's going to be warm, and add some more salt into that. You want to keep the calories low and the quantity low there. You'll have, remember, on these reduced training days here, you'll have done all the carving. Here you're just really keeping the system topped up. Alright, so that's the most important thing. Now, some other things to be doing in the final race week, final few days before the race. Try and reduce your stress. If you're going away, let's say you're leaving the office on a Wednesday, it's likely that you're going to try and fit 5 days worth of work into the last 2 days. You're going to be starting early and finishing late. That's going to add more stress, not less. It's going to increase the adrenaline as you try to get ready to go away. So do your best to minimise that by finishing it all the week before. If you're going abroad, try and travel early. I guess some of you, those of you going to France or Austria, some of those European races coming up soon have already got your travel arrangements, but the earlier you can arrive within reason, the more time it gives you to counter any unexpected incidents like damage to your bike or a bike that doesn't arrive on transit. So travel early. Make sure you do all your planning. Make lists. Lists make you feel comfortable. It puts your mind at rest. And have a plan A for your strategy, and then a plan B if things go wrong, and then a plan C if plan B goes wrong, and a plan D. So you know everything's covered, just in case. Try to save energy. So minimise the walking around. Stay off your feet. Go to the expo once. Things do not change. They don't bring new stock in on the Thursday and Friday after you've been there on the Wednesday. So do all your stuff and then stay in your room. Do your minimum of training. Go to the mandatory meetings, and that's it. Okay, and stay calm. Watch videos. Stick to your routine. Trust your fitness. Trust your plan. Remember what you're going to be doing on race day. And once you've got it all listed out, everything will seem much calmer, and you're going to have a great race. And keep emphasising the positives and get rid of the negatives. It will be alright on the day. Thanks for watching. I'm going to come back to you next week with another video on what to do on race morning. But until then, just keep up with the training, manage what you've got, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.